Alright, we made it back today with another video. This one's we're going to be messing with a truck we bought a couple months ago. We hadn't done anything to it yet. And we've never done one of these type videos before, like will it run? Like we just drug it out of a junkyard and we're going to see if this truck will run or not. You know, or what we'll have to do to it to make it run, or if it needs a motor or what, we don't know.
Or if it's better off going back to the junkyard.
Yeah, it may be better off going back where we got it. So, and we're not too for sure on it. So we're gonna get out there and tell you a little bit more about it and get it in here. Hey, here it is. It's a 84 GMC C25. Same thing as a C20, as a Chevy. 3/4 ton.
Long bed,
big block, 8 lug, and this is it
in all its glory.
So this is exactly how it was when we got it, other than the other 3 tires were flat.
Yeah, so the other 3 hold there, so
they're still holding there. It's very surprising.
I think we got a good deal.
So we're going to get a chain hook to this thing, pull under the lean-to back there, and then once we get in there, we'll say a little bit more about it. So we're going to get to that.
I don't think it's supposed to do that.
I believe we are out of luck on this tire.
Well, we have one of 2 options. Drag it, or put the spare on.
Yeah, the spare may be flat too.
I did not expect that.
One of our tires came off with it.
Oh, heck. Sitting on the floor in here. At least it moves. Got it under the lean-to here, and just kind of a quick rundown of the truck, how we got it, some other stuff. Like we said, it's an 84 GMC C25. It's a 2-wheel drive, 3/4 ton. It's got the 8 lug wheels on it. It's got a big block in it, 454. Turbo 400.
Turbo 400 transmission. It's like our black truck we done a couple videos on. It's got the 83.4 GMC grill, which is the only square body grill they don't make. So somebody needs to make one. We picked it up from a local salvage yard to us that had been parked there since what?
He bought the truck in like 03.
So he bought it in 03, it was parked then.
About 07, something like that, it was parked, he claimed.
So the last time this truck was moved was 07-ish.
And supposedly got a rebuilt transmission. That's really all we know about it. Or all that we was told about it.
And so we picked it up from there probably a couple months ago. It's sat here, we hadn't touched it since then. Got it in here, kind of looked over it, and we've got a plan for what we want to do with it. And so, looking at the body here, I mean, the whole truck is straight other than this one door right here. It's like something ran into it.
I mean, it's caved in pretty good, but that's really the only body damage on this thing.
Yeah, everything else, it's
got some pretty good patina.
Yeah,
not bad.
Good fenders, bed, got some on it. Roof has a little bit on it. Somebody's repainted the roof at one time.
Yeah, it's base clear instead of acrylic enamel like it should be. But this cab corner rocker is pretty solid. There's a little spot there, but the other side it's got a little hole in it about the size of a quarter, something like that. Nothing major.
Something else we found out of this truck just from looking at it, it's got an auxiliary fuel tank right here just kind of shoved in there. And it's gonna be kind of hard to use that for what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
it also has a flat back glass, which I like personally.
yeah.
And the big mirrors, which
No, factory big mirrors.
factory big mirrors. That's actually on the option tag.
We'll get to that later on. Tailgate is also pretty rough. I mean, it's usable if you want to paint it.
And this thing did have a camper top on it the first time we seen it, like the old school aluminum camper shells.
Yep.
And he sold it. He sold the camper shell or scrapped it or something, and then this sat there for a while.
The bed in this thing is, the inside of the bed is pretty nice. We're going to get to it even more when we get all this stuff cleaned out of it.
But it's not rusted out anywhere. It's just,
That we can tell.
it's just scratched, kind of like that, which
That top probably preserved it.
somewhat decent. But yeah, paint's coming off the tailgate. It's also been painted base clear. Let's see.
Top of this bedside is the most
Yeah.
painted part of it. So
And we're wanting to kind of leave this truck rough looking, not really slick it out at this point in time right now. So we may try to fog this, don't really know. But there is a few parts missing because it was in salvage yard. Got a drip rail, vent window.
the
Somebody robbed the seat out of it.
windows come off the track
Yeah,
here.
jump track. Let's see.
It does have the big bug shield. It's not,
Big bug shield.
I'm kind of on the fence about it. You like them?
I mean, on some trucks I like them. You know, people are starting to run them again on, you know, dualies and stuff like that. So, who knows? We'll see.
It does have the. It's got the big diamond plate.
Oh, yeah.
On it. We'll probably get them off at some point in this video. They'll be coming off.
Yeah, and something else too. This truck actually has the full floater 14 bolt in it, which is kind of cool, you know, because
Which what you mean by that is
it's the beefiest rear end you could get in one of these trucks. So, and it was also factory option, which I figure somebody was pulling a trailer, probably a camper with this thing. So,
yeah.
and it's got the mud flaps back off. That's right. I'm gonna have to leave them on there.
Took off.
No, you gotta leave them on there.
Inside of this thing, it's kind of a weird option once we started looking at it. As far as how this truck's optioned out, it's just weird.
At first, we didn't think nothing
Yeah, I
of it.
never paid attention to it.
'Cause,
After we got to,
like we
started
said,
looking at it.
It's a high Sierra, but it's got a vinyl floor. Okay, that's, you know, that's not that weird. But it's also got the plain Jane door panels with power locks and power windows.
It's got no door carpets, which if it don't have carpet, I don't think they had door carpets.
And
it's got tilt.
But it has no headliner or other trim. It's got the factory clock in the bezel over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's got tilt. It had cruise, AC.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just a split. Like,
yeah,
half of it's the high option, half of it's the lowest option you can get. I don't know if somebody actually went in here and spec'd this out in 84 like that or not.
Which personally, I've never seen one like this. You know,
no, I haven't either. Somebody's robbed the glove box door. Just the seats out of it.
Like we said, it was in a scrap yard, so
pieces here and there were took out of it. Something that's kind of cool. It's got this sticker on it that's from '84 on it.
Yeah,
with the Olympics on it. Well, we didn't show this either. It's got the
the
manual in the floor here. The cover's kind of messed up, but the rest of it seems to be in decent shape. I didn't realize it had that in it.
Yeah. Interesting.
This is an 86. So I guess when we bought tags in it in 86.
I've never noticed that either.
I never noticed this in there either.
But anyways, on the back, again, it's got official trucks of the Olympics in Los Angeles of '84, which again, I've never seen another one like that. R84 in there, it don't have none of that with it. So I don't know if they only done that on certain trucks or what, but pretty cool, you know.
The last like mileage or record, whatever it's got in here, is 59,000. I don't know what's on it now.
What does the cluster say over there?
Barely over 100 on it.
Yeah, which, like we said, it's got the factory clock in it.
We've already made our money back with this truck.
Well, clearly,
if you look right there, and then some,
got that $1 million bill. That'll buy a few more square bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Son.
Yeah, somebody screwed their tool pouch back here. I don't
know what the deal with that is either.
I just hope it didn't go through the cab.
Yeah.
Don't look like it did.
Thank goodness. They also had their fluffy seat belt because, you know, you always got to be comfortable pulling your camper around.
I mean, the inside's not bad to have that window down for who knows how long.
I mean, the top of the cab looks all pretty good. The window, the gasket around the window, all looks good. The seat belts ain't in terrible shape, you know. And something else too, this thing being a 3/4 ton, it don't have cab lights, which is not really. Most 3/4 tons you see have cab lights, but there's a few that don't. So
yeah, I'd like to put them back on there.
Yeah, we're gonna put cab lights on it at some point.
And we were talking about the option tag earlier. It's not in here, but we did find it under the hood.
Yeah, it's actually on this driver's side fender well in here, which again. Like I said earlier, that's all the rust that's in it right there that we can find right now. So, but got the big block,
7.4 big block.
got the big 4-core radiator. Yeah, and here's the option tag too.
Yeah, this was
look at it.
It was factory option, two-tone.
Yeah,
black and tan. I thought somebody might have painted the tan at first on it, but after looking at it, they just repainted it. They didn't.
And I actually don't know that I've ever seen a factory two-tone black and tan like this. But factory air, still got the jack and the crank and all that. Had a auxiliary battery tray.
It's factory, it says here.
I don't know what that is. I assume that's something for trailer lights or something. But yeah, it just just dirty. Needs cleaning. Thank goodness it looks like nobody's robbed any engine parts off this thing. That would.
So this thing, it was parked, what, 19 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
19, so.
And I mean, for sitting out in the weather for that many years, with the window rolled down, I'd say it's pretty solid. You know.
Yeah. Well, for what we're gonna do with it,
yeah,
it should work out.
Yeah, which y'all see all the plans at a later date, but this video is just really about getting it running right and getting it roadworthy. They even got washer fluid in it. Surprised that tank ain't busted.
Yeah, it's about half in it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we had some wipers to use it with, but
yeah, those were took off of it. Yeah, this tag also talks about how those were factory, the tow mirrors.
yeah, or wide side mirrors or something like that is what they call them.
So I guess we're about to get a battery on this thing and see if it'll fire up. That was the plan, so and just go with it from there and see what happens. So.
Fresh battery going on here.
The old Duralast.
The old Duralast. Not sponsored by Duralast.
Somebody's changed the positive cable out. They should both be the
Side post.
side. Yeah, somebody put a top post end on it. I guess we'll get the breather off and then see if this thing will fire up.
I already pulled the vacuum lines.
Did you?
I did. Look at that. It looks a little crusty, but maybe it'll get the job done. Oh, we got a headlight and marker lights up front. No fender marker lights. That's a real shocker. Oh, we got headlights on one side. We can drive this thing. If it cranks, of course. That's what I'm talking about. Dang near highway legal. Oh, I'm rolling, son. We only got highs on the passenger side. So you may have to hold a flashlight out this side or something.
Yeah.
See if she spins over here. Son, that's what I wanted to hear. All right, we put a little gas in the carburetor. We're gonna see if it'll hit a lick here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well. God. That rattled the building.
Oh, she backfired, so. Yeah. Pump a little bit.
Looks like I ordered the tank for a reason.
Well, that's not what you want to see. So right now, the truck is just draining all the gas we put in it back out of it. That's what came out of the exhaust, so that's nice. But good thing we got a tank, sending unit. We believe that may fix our problem, so.
Yeah, so we poured some gas in the carburetor 4 or 5 times. It would fire up. It sounded like it had a heck of a misfire in it. And it had one pretty good backfire.
Yeah, it was.
Rattled the side of the shop here. And then we realized that we put about 1.5 gallons of gas in it, and then realized it was all dumping out. So luckily I bought a tank and sending unit for this thing a couple weeks ago, just in preparedness, or just to be prepared if we needed it or not. And so
Good thing we did.
good thing we did need it, because I didn't know if there was gas in it. I didn't know it'd probably been sitting there for
Yeah.
15, 20 years.
But on the bright side, there is no bad gas in it.
There's no bad gas, because there's none left in it.
So,
And we were wondering if it had gas in it or not.
which, you know, it also helps to put gas in it if you're trying to crank it. So,
And, you know, gas usually helps them run.
ran into that twice today.
Yeah. As you seen there, we just got the gas tank out. It's kind of rough getting it out. The steps they had on the side, there's a brace that come right between the gas tank and the bedside, so it wouldn't let the gas tank come all the way over to come out. So I had to take that brace out. Finally got it out, and this is our problem here of why it won't hold gas in it. Pretty good sized hole in it. It's been there for a while, it looks like. I'm sure it's the original tank in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody's ever put one in it. But it's pretty clean under here from what we can tell. Everything looks good, and just have to put some new lines on it, replumb the new one. So we'll put new lines, just the new fuel lines. There's like 2 short lines right there for it. We're gonna get them on it, and then We got a new tank, sending unit, everything right here. Probably gonna have to end up reusing these straps because I don't think you can get straps right now.
Or the saddles. We've
Saddles.
got new straps. Just it's the
Yeah.
saddles.
So, yeah, with that, we're gonna leave it there tonight and probably pick back up with this tomorrow. So we'll see you then. All right, so we got our new tank here, ready to go back in with a new sending unit, new fuel lines, and ended up using the old straps because we couldn't find new ones right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this tank back in there and get the truck jacked up so we can kind of work on it a little better and then get to it. Just got the tank back under it. I mean, everything went better than I expected it, so it was actually harder getting it out than it was putting it back in, which usually,
I thought it'd be the other way
yeah,
around.
usually it's opposite of that. But I mean, it was still tough at times. Getting the hoses hooked up on the fuel lines at first was pretty tough, and then after that, it wasn't that bad. So, and then lining the straps back up. Other than that, I mean, everything went on as it should. We've got everything tightened up underneath it. Got the filler neck swapped over. It was kind of hard putting it back on at the end, but we got it in, and we'll let this thing down, put some more gas in it, or just
Put some gas in.
Put some gas in it. Shouldn't leak it out. This
Hopefully
time.
without all going on the concrete. But
So we're gonna do that. Throw this battery back on it and see what happens. So.
liquid gold right here. That should be enough gas for about 10 seconds at idle.
300 feet per
300 feet a gallon. Typical big block. That should be enough.
Yeah, how much you put in there?
Maybe gallon and a half, 2 gallons.
Huh? Round 2 here.
Fingers crossed. She fires. Don't cross thread them now.
I just don't want them coming off. I'll do that.
Free Loctite. You want to go ahead and pull the breather off there?
Yeah, we'll do that.
give it a little encouragement here to get primed. All right. Got the new tank on, hot battery. Now,
It'll probably take
yeah, it'll
times to get it.
yeah.
To get enough actually ran up there to it, so it'll.
Get it primed. Son.
Shooting more stuff out.
We shooting more stuff out. How about that? Give her some more liquid encouragement there. Wants to. Not really.
Sounds like it.
It's spinning over good, but take it a little while to get primed, I guess. Have you tried pumping it?
Just a time or two.
Oh, okay. We should be getting close,
It should.
if I had to guess. Or I'm hoping anyways.
Yeah.
The fuel pump may be bad.
So we kept spinning it over, never could get fuel to the carburetor, so we determined it's more than likely this fuel pump is bad, because when I took it off it had nothing but old gas coming out of it, and so I didn't think it was pulling new gas up there, so I went and got a new one today, and so about to get that swapped out, and hopefully that fixes it, because we're just eliminating possibilities now, so hopefully this fuel pump fixes the problem. We're gonna get out here and get it swapped on there. We had a problem with the fuel pump. Well, we went and got one, come back and compared it to the other one we had that we took off, and we're thinking they gave us a small block one, so we went back and got one that was the right one then.
Which some people say the big block and small block fuel pumps are the same, but we have run into before that some of them won't interchange, and
Yeah, we just could be on the safe side. Went ahead and just put the one that matched that one back in. So,
and as you also can see, we got a new carburetor sitting up here. So the old carburetor, we could get gas to the carburetor. It was pumping it up to it, but something in the carburetor wasn't letting it get into the block itself. So
yeah, the old one here had it. So I'm sure,
yeah, which we'll probably have it rebuilt and put back on here, because
we had that one sitting in here that we were going to use on another truck.
yeah, this is just it's got no choke. It's kind of a bare bones type carburetor. So we just threw it on here to see if it'd run. So
we messed with that one
yeah
for a while, never could get nothing to happen with it. After we got our fuel pump problem straightened out, you know, we finally got gas up here, and then couldn't get it to run off that, so swap the carburetor.
hopefully this thing will run.
Hopefully it will.
You ready?
I guess. Yeah. That's good.
You gonna pour it on the carburetor?
Already have. Well, it does run, so
That's all that matters.
it runs. It's set for like almost 20 years because I don't think it was moved much after '03 when it was parked. It may have been moved around a couple times, but it was never drove. So.
Yeah, but she runs. Now, obviously it has a mess in it. So
Yeah, I mean,
we'll do another video because the water pump's leaking. So we'll do another video, probably plugs, wires, water pump, distributor cap, maybe a radiator, and try to get this thing road ready.
yep, get it ready for what we're gonna do to it after
Yeah,
this.
because we got some big plans for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've made plans now for it, so I mean, we can't go back.
Oh yeah,
We can, but what's the fun in that?
but
you know?
this is a milestone. So
Yeah, it does run with, carburetor, fuel pump, just
yeah,
odd end stuff like that. I mean, the truck's been sitting, like we said, it's been sitting so long, it's going to have something done to it. There probably is some out there you can just go throw a battery on and they'll run, but probably very few of them. So.
and really, honestly, that's kind of what I expected for this thing. But it is what it is. I don't know if we mentioned it earlier or not, but we did end up getting all the running boards off, all 12 feet of them.
That turned, one of them 30-minute jobs turned into a 3-hour job on that because the nuts and stuff were so rusted on there you couldn't get anything to hold them, so I ended up having to cut every one of them off.
And half of them were like flathead
Yeah, you can't,
screwdriver
can't hold a
bolts.
rusted flathead.
It just spin right out of the screwdriver, so we messed with a couple of them.
Yeah, I just ended up cutting them all off. So the truck is a lot higher after doing that.
Oh,
It
yeah.
it looked lower with them steps on.
It almost looks like a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, you got them cut off, and so
It's starting to come together.
I guess we're about to wrap this one up. Just overall on this truck, what we end up doing to it, put a new fuel tank, sending unit in it, reuse the old straps that we had on there, put a fuel pump on it, and swapped the carburetor with one we had in there it was a new carburetor. We'd only used it, I think, one time to crank another truck we had. A few parts, and then a couple days, like obviously it took us 3 or 4 days to do. It's going to be, when we put it together, it's going to be 3 or 4 different days. So all that, I mean, it came together, it fired up, surprised me.
I just don't know what to say. I'm so happy. So happy she actually ran.
So got it running with, a little help.
Minimal parts,
Yeah, minimal parts, really. I mean,
Well, stuff that's gonna wear over time.
yeah, it's
but
wearable items. Not that we know we'll get anything else that we know we'll get.
yeah.
So I mean, it runs. So like you said earlier, I think we got to do some other stuff under here. So there will be a part 2 to this thing at some point. I don't know when, but yeah, it needs a water pump, needs a radiator,
probably get the original carburetor rebuilt. Cause
Yeah. Let's get the carburetor back swapped over, so we need to use this one on something else. So, just a little bit there, and then this truck should be ready to actually start driving it and do what we're going to with it.
and I'm pretty pleased with it.
I am at this point, even though it does have a miss. I mean, that's fixable stuff.
Like we said, we're gonna address that in the future, but this thing's been sitting in a junkyard for
Almost 20 years.
almost 20 years, so can't really complain. Like we said, a few minor things we're gonna go back and do, so be on the
So,
lookout.
Should have a part 2 to this at some point. Don't know when yet.
And then we'll probably have a separate little series of,
When we actually start building it for doing what we're going to do to it. And so
yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap this one up.
I believe it will. So, we got a lot more. We got a lot of truck stuff coming. You know, this truck, our dually. If you didn't see our last video,
Yeah, go check out the dually video.
86 C30 crew cab, black.
Nice truck.
It's a nice truck. Go watch our other video on it.
And check out our other videos too.
Yeah.
So
We'll have a lot more coming. We're gonna try to do like one big like project update, kind of a shop tour, kind of a half and half thing, kind of all in one.
So be on the lookout for that. It'll be a long
Hopefully
video.
After this video, it'll be up. So at some point, the week after this one.
And if you like square bodies, old trucks, this is the place for you. So stick around.
Yep, we do a lot of them. So yeah, we're gonna be lowering a couple also coming up in the next couple videos. 2 different trucks. We're gonna be lowering them both each 2 different ways. So 2 different types of methods you can do to lower them.
You know, probably talk about the pros and cons of each in each video. So
Yeah.
like I said, be on the lookout. You know,
Yeah.
thanks for watching.
Yep. We appreciate you watching, and we're gonna keep doing these trucks, and we'll see you in the next one.